Hey guys, welcome back. It's Joey again. You're watching Vegas D-Tech, and this is Tech Talk number 25. You're in the lounge, and we have a good one for you today. And the question is, has your metal detector made back its money? Alright guys, we're back again. The question of the day that a lot of people have been asking me, whether it be newbies, people that have been in the hobby a while, or just people walking by, family members, has your detector made back the money that you've invested into it? Okay? Well, for the longest time, I was just getting a lot of people laughing at me because they would see me go to the park and dig up a bunch of trash, and they're like, "How much did you pay for that trash collecting device that you have there?" My mom used to call it the trash. What'd she call it? The trash detector. Yeah, she said, "What is that? You call it a metal detector? I call it a trash detector because that's all I ever see you do is pull trash out of the ground. How much did you pay for it?" Mom, you don't understand. So why even explain? But I decided to put it all down on paper and actually come up with a formula of what I've discovered. And maybe this matters to you, maybe this doesn't, because there's a lot of different reasons why we buy a detector, but I wanted to break it down to you, okay? So in terms of what we found, there's a scrap value, and then there's actually appraised value, and then individual value. If you were to take a look at all these things in the short term, metal detecting is probably a losing proposition. You're going to come out the gate and have $5, $7, $1,000 invested in a detector, and you're going to go out there for the first couple of months, and you're just going to find nowhere near what you invested into it. Okay, so in the short term, you're going to come out looking like it's not worth it. Okay, so anyways, a little bit about me, right? I started metal detecting probably seriously wanting to make a channel probably 6 years ago. All right, I wanted to do vlogging. I wanted to do something with a hobby and create my own channel where I could reach out to people. And I didn't get serious about metal detecting until 6 years ago. And I started creating a little teeny, a log of how I went about, the pricing and so forth of what I invested in detectors and what I got out of it. Okay, so let's jump right into it. When it comes to it, you're gonna find money, coins. Okay, you're gonna find silver, and then you're gonna find gold. Now, as far as silver is concerned, I have in 6 years I've collected like 50 rings. Okay, 50 pendants and rings, about 50 of them. And after weighing them all out, it came out to like about 38 ounces of silver. Okay, 38 ounces of silver, or probably 1,076 grams. Okay, now if you're going by the spot weight right now of grams, it's like 72 cents a gram. So if you were to take this right here, spot weight of what I have there in bulk silver, it came out to $775. Yeah, it doesn't seem like too much. 6 years worth of detecting, man, for $775 in silver. Hey man, I'm sorry, but at 72 cents a gram, silver is not a winning metal. Okay, now let's go to gold rings. All right, my gold rings are pretty pitiful in comparison to what I see a lot of these guys find at beaches. I've seen guys find 3 times what I found in a weekend. Okay, so in gold rings, I have a whopping or measly 11 gold rings in 6 years. So 50 silver rings, various trinkets like charms and stuff like that, probably another 20 of them. So but in rings, I counted 50 rings, about 20 pendants or so forth. But in gold rings, I have 11 gold rings, which came out to 42.63 grams in scrap weight. Okay, now you're looking at $57 a gram. That comes out to 2,492. Now you're starting to see some power here. Okay, now this right here, guys, this is just scrap weight. I actually have a jeweler that is right across the street from where I live, and I brought in all the stuff that I have there, and the guy said he's willing whenever I'm ready to buy everything that I have in scrap weight, and this is what he gave me as a receipt. He said that if I gave him all my 50 silver rings with the 20 pendants and various bracelets for scrap, he'd give me $775 for the silver. He'd give me $2,429 for the 11 gold rings that I have. All right, so that's what I have there. Now, coins, okay? Guys, it's going to be different for each of you depending on how hard you go to the park, how consistent you are going to the park. I generally detect in 7 days. I probably go to the park 3 times a week, okay? And I generally, on average, find anywhere between $3 and $7 in coins, okay? So if you were to do that math, three times a week, $3 to $7 each day you go out there and you find in coins, on average you're going to work it up to around $300 to $700 a year. Okay, $300 to $700 a year. So if you go on average on that, let's just say you're getting $500 a year in coins. Yes, they do add up, man. Trust me. If you bring home that much coins and you just keep it in a little teeny jar, and at the end of the month you just go ahead and tumble it, dude, there's a lot of money there, bro. Trust me. I ended up putting into a Folgers jar, and I filled up like 5 or 6 Folgers jar at the end of the year, and then it comes out to right around $500. Okay, some of you guys will see more or less. So I'm looking at, in the 5 years of detecting, I'll probably say around 3 grand. 3 grand in coins, okay? Now, so I have $775 in silver, $2,429 in gold rings, $3,000 in clad. Okay, so we're hovering right around 10 grand right there. Okay, 10 grand. Now you're starting to see the picture here. In the course of me detecting, 10 grand. Okay, now this is not even including the appraised jewelry, because there are some jewelry pieces that I found that I would not sell for scrap because they have a gem inside of it. They either have some jade or they've got some type of a colored crystal or a ruby, and that would have to be appraised, and I would have to be given something different for that, not just the scrap weight of the gold. This guy across the street told me although he would buy the silver and the gold at scrap value, he doesn't buy the diamonds. Basically, he says he just throws the diamonds away. Go figure. You pay a ton for the diamonds, but the jewelry shop says they don't pay for the diamonds unless it's a big fat carat, whatever. The rings that's got the little teeny rings of diamonds in it. He goes, he doesn't even bother with those things. Whatever. He ain't gonna pay me for the diamonds. All right. So, anyways, not including the jewelry or appraised coins. For instance, like this silver dollar I found. That's an 1896 stamp S. Okay, I think I'm going to put this right there. Stamp S. This was appraised at $348 just for this guy right here. All right. Only because it has that. It's an 1896 Morgan silver dollar, and it has the stamp on it of the S stamp, which I believe means San Francisco Mint. And I found this at Travis Air Force Base, California, when I went out there to visit a friend of mine, because my dad used to be stationed at the air base out there when he served, and we went back there to visit a friend that is currently being stationed at the air base. And I went detecting out there, and Vacaville, Fairfield is very close to San Francisco, hence that's probably why this stamping was found on there. But just one little coin like this, to be appraised at $348. Like I said, I haven't even gone as far as the silver stuff that I have even that stuff appraised. I was just going by strictly the scrap weight. All right. So if we go at it, I only have 3 detectors right now, okay, that I'm currently in rotation with, that I enjoy using. I had like 5 or 6, and I was just like, you know what? That stuff is just taking up room on the wall over there, not even being used. And if I'm not going to use it, I'm not even going to bother keeping it. So I sold both of my Vanquishes, the 540 and the 440. I'm like, why? Why even bother with those detectors when I have the Equinox? I mean, people that buy the Vanquish generally buy them because they're trying to work up to the Equinox. And I just felt like if I have the Equinox, I've got everything that those detectors are. And I just didn't need them anymore. So I got rid of both of them. And then I also sold the Garrett, the Ace Apex. That's more like a beach detector for me. I see that being strong at the beach. But being that I don't hardly ever go to the beach and I don't have anyone anywhere around me that I could use that at. I was going to even go to Lake Mead, which, you know, and try to detect there, but that's on a federal park, right? That's a national park. And being that the U.S. Forest Service runs that, they don't allow metal detecting anywhere on their property, so I can't even go to the lake shores at Lake Mead. So it didn't really serve any purpose for me, and I got rid of it. Okay, so currently I have the X-terra. No, currently I have the Equinox. So the Equinox is right now the Equinox with the headphones, the wireless headphones. It's worth about $788. All right, and then I have the X-terra. The X-terra, this thing, even though it's a 10-year-old model, I bought this brand new just recently, just because I wanted to have it, and this was $500. And then of course the Simplex. So the Simplex with the SP24 coil and the wireless headphones, that was like $339. Okay, so altogether right now, my current rotation of machines run about $1627. Wow, that's about the price of the Deus 2. So you could have one machine like the Deus 2, or you could have 3 of these machines. For me, guys, I'd rather have these 3 machines here because they do different things in different ways. And even if I go to the same park and I bring these out on different days, I will find different things. So for me, it was more advantageous for me to go this way as opposed to just try to invest more than $1,000 into just one detector. But that may not make any sense to you. You may want to go out there and just buy the best one detector. Buy once, cry once. Buy wrong, you cry 1,000 times, or so they say, right? All right. So guys, listen, if you're new and you're thinking about buying a detector and you're just like, oh man, well, you've got 6 years, you know, into the hobby. And guys, listen, I'm not telling you the things that I found like this with this list. I'm not telling you this stuff to impress you, because this is nothing. To the pros that have been out there for as long as I've been alive, this is laughing stock. They've made way more. I tell you this because it impresses me, because I was not even keeping score, and I just finally had enough of the laughing and the chastising of people always asking me, hey man, you spent $500, $600, $700 for a detector. I see you going to the park and digging up trash, and you come back home with this thing filled with trash and rusty pennies. And I'm like asking myself, man, do they have a point here? Because I do go to the park and I find a lot of trash, man, and I got to pay that credit card back now for that $700 detector. How long is it going to take me to get that stuff back? Well, to be honest with you guys, like I said, you find one coin like this that's $348 appraised, that automatically paid for the Simplex. Boom. Or paid almost three quarters of the X-terra, and paid about half of what the Equinox is right there in just one coin. And just imagine that if you find yourself a solid ring, that could be the same situation. One ring could almost pay for a full detector. Now, how long does it take to find that ring? Who knows, man? It could take a long time. It could take a few years to hit that Pegasus. In the meantime, you're going to be getting the silver and the gold and the coins, okay? So anyways, if you're new and you're saying that you don't have that kind of time to invest, in the beginning, folks, I could not afford to have multiple detectors. It was just like I had the budget for one. You know what I mean? So I ended up buying a detector, using it, finding what I could with it, and then when I wanted another detector, what I did is I just sold the detector that I had, and when I had that money in hand, I went ahead and bought the one that I wanted and just basically recouped the loss of the first detector, reinvested it into the second detector, and paid the difference. Okay? Now, if you do it that way, I can almost say that 100% you'll get your money back. Why is that? Because you should be able, if you don't go out there and beat the hell out of your detector, some of these guys I've seen, I'm like, oh my god, dude, these guys are so hard on their detectors. It looked like this thing has been like thrown under a tractor and it's been sitting in mud the entire time he's owned it. You know what I mean? Like mud's caked up into the speakers. The buttons are all crusty with just weather, just terrible condition. My detectors are pristine. Almost every time that I go out, when I come back home, man, I wash the coil out. I take the skid plate off the bottom, rinse everything out, dry it all up, man, and I keep it proper. Yes, I do. I keep my detectors looking proper. The box is always brand new. So as long as I keep the detectors looking proper, not all scratched up and banged up, I normally can resell those on OfferUp, and I normally do for a minimum of half the price to 3/4 of the price. And guys that want to debate with me with the price, I'm like, hey man, you know what? That's cool. You guys go ahead and buy it brand new off of wherever you want to. Go ahead and do that, but you're going to also pay for shipping charges. You're not going to get some freebies that I throw into mine. You know, generally I throw in, like if I buy a Pro Pack or something like that, I give them the Pro Pack value, you know, at a substantial cost. So it's like, go ahead, do whatever you want to do, and also you got to wait for that thing to come in a week or 2 weeks from now, where if you pay the price that I'm asking you, look at the condition of it. It's got very low usage on it, and you can come get it today and be out there tomorrow, and you're not going to pay none of the taxes. So all in all, depending on how hungry the buyer is, you could get, at, you know, like I said, I don't sell my detectors for less than half the price. Half the price to 3/4 of the price. Now, where you make your value in is during that time that you own that detector, you went to the park and you found yourself plenty of coins. You may have also found yourself some jewelry in the time. So if you calculate the amount of clad that you've collected plus the jewelry that you've collected, you should have been able to make back 100% of what you invested in your detector if you take care of it and you resell it. Okay, guys? So, anyways, man, that's my take on it. I just really wanted to know. I wanted to get down and see, have your guys' detectors made you back the money that you paid for it? Does it even matter? Because for the majority of us in here, the joy that we get from the detectors is in the thrill of the hunt, the adventure of finding what's below the surface that's not visible. We like that thrill, and that's what keeps us going. You know, that next beat, it could be nothing or it could be something amazing, and that's what keeps us out there swinging this coil across the ground. So guys, with that, thank you again for tuning in. This is Vegas Detect, and we're on Tech Talk 25. I'm going to go ahead and upload this to you guys and get it out. Looks like we got a Rams-Cardinals game coming on here at 5 o'clock, and I want to get ready for that. So guys, you be well. Thanks again. It's Joey, Vegas Detect. Take it easy.